All right, guys, we're back here on Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel. Max Barr joins the first SEC game of conference play officially in the books, which means our multiple reactions we do during the SEC slate. Back officially, Max, our first one here of the conference season. Alabama, 89, Kentucky, 74. The Tide put up 50 in the first half. An impressive shooting performance, 15 of 38 from three for 39%. If you would have said that the player we were going to maybe not talk about most, but the player that had the most surprising performance of the day, I think if any of us would have said Noah Williamson, we would have probably said, Max, hey, it's injury related. And, well, that happened right off the bat for Alabama. What do you know? Injury kind of comes into play quickly into the game, and man, Noah Williamson steps up 10 points in 18 minutes, gave him 4 rebounds, a couple steals, a block, had some big plays in this game. Aiden Holloway, 26 points, 6 of 8 from 3. Quite an impressive performance for the Tide.
Impressive might even be cutting it short. Extremely impressive. To do it without Taylor Bol Bowen, who in our preview we weren't aware that he was going to be out of the game, Blake. That wasn't baked into our analysis. So no Taylor Bol Bowen, who had been a big piece of this front court lately, had the big 9 rebound game the other day. Last year, Blake, I remember in the beginning of Alabama season, I put out a tweet early last year, and I was like, every time I watch LeBaron Philon, I get more impressed. Every game I come away more impressed. The guy just keeps impressing me. This year, Amari Allen has taken the reins on that. I mean, oh my, you talk about a difference maker. You talk about an absolute difference maker. The rebounding and playmaking at 6'8". Man, he's gotten so much better than November, and he was pretty dang good in November. The amount of times I'm watching that game and I'm saying either, wow, it's changed a lot since Amari Allen went out with that injury, or wow, he has made an extreme difference since he came back. I think he's an absolute X factor for this team to complement all the characters in the backcourt. Houston Millette, what a game in the first half, knocking down shot after shot, getting the crowd into the game. Wow, I'm very impressed.
Well, I mean, I think one of the things that we said it in something, I don't remember if it was the preview or something else, but we're like, if Aiden Holloway isn't in the same backcourt as LeBaron Philon, we're probably talking about Aiden Holloway way more, and we should be talking about him way more. I think after this game, again, it just kind of shows you, look at this guy's numbers this season. They are very impressive, and I think it's just, again, the fact that he happened to be playing alongside what we thought probably heading into this game was the SEC Player of the Year to this point, LeBaron Philon. But you know what? If I'm revisiting an all first team all SEC, I don't think I gave enough.
Yeah.
I don't think I gave enough credit to the possibility that Aiden Holloway should be on there somewhere. Because if you look at his numbers, I know the Arizona game, and that's where, did not have a great game there, didn't play against Clemson. So he has a few of those where it's like, all right, you can maybe justify. But moving forward now, I mean, this guy, again, you just kind of look at the performance he's had. I mean, the last 2 games alone, he's gone 11 of, 18 from 3. 26-point performances back-to-back against Yale and Kentucky here. So, yeah, I mean, he's been terrific. That's his, 6 20-point game of the season. Yeah,
Jeez.
Man, pretty remarkable. And I know some people are bringing it up in the chat, and Shane's going to point out the mathematical aspect here. This was our thing, we said, listen, if Alabama is making shots from 3 and you're playing a team that, we hate to keep repeating it, can't really shoot that well against, I think, great teams, it's going to be a struggle. And that was the difference here. I mean, literally the difference in the game. 15 of 38 from 3 for Alabama, 4 of 19 for 3 from Kentucky. And I just think that's going to be the thing when Kentucky plays teams like this. And I'm not saying there's a lot of teams like this, Max, because there's really not. There's not a lot of Alabamas out there.
No.
But if you're playing a team like this and you're trying to play catch up and you're trying to do it via ones and twos, hard to do against a team like this. And again, I'm not just saying that for Kentucky. It's going to be the case for a lot of SEC teams this year.
Okay, hear me out, Blake. If you said 9 minutes from Aiden Sherrell, only 9 minutes, and all 9 of those are going to be in like the first kind of half, 3/4 of the first half there. Only 9 minutes from Aiden Sherrell. Latrell Wrightsell goes 1 of 7 from 3. Honestly, hasn't looked like Latrell Wrightsell at all lately. Still working back from this injury. Jalil Bethea only plays 3 minutes. You don't have Taylor Bol Bowen. You don't have Davion Hannah. Amari Allen goes to the locker room with an ankle injury, misses part of the game. I mean, saying, okay, geez, I mean, did Kentucky win or was it pretty close? The fact that they did that, missing all those guys, all those factors coming in, makes it that much more impressive for Alabama. On the Kentucky side, I thought we had that foundation back. I thought we had the rebounding Mo Diabate and Jayden Quaintance with, the toughness of Jalen Lowe, the aggressiveness of Jalen Lowe, and Otega always being more aggressive. So to have the first half just be kind of a lack of effort, being out toughed, not boxing out, allowing Alabama offensive rebounds. I was like, that's supposed to be the bedrock there. Kind of took a step back there, Blake.
Yeah, and we'll keep talking about both sides of this, but if we flip it to the Kentucky side, after saying many positive things about Alabama, which we're going to revisit in a second, but I think, one of the things about Kentucky to me that still stands out, Bill, with the comment of the day, I like you guys a lot more when Kentucky wins. Well, you're not the only one, Bill. I'm guessing that is not the only one there. Matt's here weighing in on Mark Pope, as many others are. But I think it's still, to me, and this is where I think it takes games like this to really look at it. Sure, like when you're on the high of what we saw with Kentucky these past couple games, against Indiana, against St. John's, and you're kind of feeling the mojo of getting JQ back. Lowe's good to go again. All right. Like, all right, we got a little mojo. Like, again, it's the whole adversity thing. You're not facing a lot of adversity. You've got momentum on your side and all that. But it feels like still when I see them in these kind of games like this, it does kind of go back to what we've seen most of the season. And I feel like I'm still looking at a team that is full of parts, but the parts just don't go together. And I think that's what I'm seeing more and more right now. And this is where I think it does take playing teams like this, right? Because Kentucky's 1-5 against ranked teams or whatever the stat is right now. But I think that's where we talk about there's a difference between playing Alabama and like an Indiana or even a St. John's, I think, to this point. It just, to me, even when they're in give Kentucky credit. In this game, they did make a little bit of a charge late. But again, that goes back to not being able to shoot the ball that well. It's hard to shoot your way back into a game. It just feels like a roster that is not a Mark Pope type roster. And you said it this summer where they're not playing to the strengths of what we feel like Mark Pope has had as a coach throughout his career. And now I think you're just seeing a lot of parts out there that are trying to mesh together well. And it just doesn't when you see them play teams like this. So,
yeah, and you can kind of throw the Cats into the list of short list of SEC teams who still have just really no clue where to go with the rotation. Bringing Jalen Lowe off the bench, I don't know if that's the best idea when first half slow starts have kind of been a trend. Jasper Johnson in the past 3 big games, 3 minutes against Indiana, 8 minutes against St. John's, 6 minutes today against Alabama. He's not really getting much playing time against these tougher teams. Brandon Garrison now back-to-back games in single-digit minutes. No Yelovich again, no Trent Noah. So, I mean, who knows? I don't really know what to expect minutes-wise in the next few games for Kentucky. It kind of feels like they're back into a figure it out stage. It's concerning, Blake. After you thought you were back after the last, the 4-game win streak, the big wins against Indiana and St. John's, and then it's a tough spot opening up SEC play at Alabama. Anyone playing at Alabama to start SEC play, playing against a 15-3 night for the Tide is going to have a tough night. But I don't know. I'm a little concerned.
Well, and that's the thing, right? That's why we're having this conversation, is because this just isn't anybody. This is Kentucky we're talking about. Like, it's the team that, again, whether you want to buy it or not, the $22 million, when that number gets out, your expectations have changed. No matter when that gets out, expectations change, and I think that's where we are. And when you see the results, like we saw in non-conference play, the bad still outweighed the good. Yes, we were on the high entering this game because the last 2 games were pretty good, but it didn't erase what happened the previous 4 games. And, people are talking about, like, Quaintance did not play well here. Like, he did not have a great game.
No.
And, he wasn't like the impact player that you have to have in a game like this. And like we said, I mean, Alabama's top big guy plays 9 minutes, and then Noah Williamson comes in, who we mentioned there has been plenty of people not been thrilled with what they've seen from him. He comes in, has a huge game. And I just think it's like that's why that frustration absolutely is warranted, I think, for Kentucky fans, because these are the kind of games that you want to be thriving in. Like I said, throw everything else out. Throw out the wins over the 300 teams in KenPom. No one cares. Like, that's not why you're getting paid as much money as Mark Pope's getting paid. Doesn't matter. No one cares that you have 9 wins right now, in all honesty. They care about 2 of them significantly. That's the Indiana and St. John's ones. But, like, that's what it comes down to, man. And they've lost more of these games than they've won by a decent margin now. And I think that's where, like you said, it is worth putting in the context of, I think a lot of teams are going to struggle against Alabama when they're going 15 to 39 or 38 from 3. A lot of teams are going to struggle.
Yeah.
But I think it's more about the foundation here for Kentucky. I think that to me is, we're more looking at it obviously in the short term, but in the long term, these pieces are going to somehow have to have some kind of chemistry for me to probably completely buy in. We have our fun and stuff. Of course, we were joking about we're taking them to the Final Four if they beat Indiana, but come on, folks. Like, I think these are the kind of games that make it very clear that this team got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, Phil asks here, Big Blue Nation thought they were back. Did anyone else? I mean, Blake, you mentioned the chemistry, right? And it's like that aspect, you kind of did think they might be back a little bit. You hold Indiana to 60 points. You hold St. John's to 66 points. Now, if those 2 games were Colin Chandler combines in those 2 games for 8 of 13 from 3, and someone else combines for a ridiculous, high variance number where they're just uber efficient, and it's like, okay, well, they skated by, they won 90 to 89 and, outscored the other team barely. No, it was like, that's, kind of the bedrock we thought the Cats were going to have this year, with that aggressive, in-your-face defense, Mo Diabate's really high rebounding rate, Jayden Quaintance protecting the rim, which when you don't have all those shooters offensively, you get the defensive rebound, you get it out to Jalen Lowe and Otega Owe, and boom, the defensive rebound that JQ just got is springing the transition offense. You thought that foundation was back, or at least I was getting the signs that it was. So a little bit there, Phil. Not all the way, but definitely a little bit. I was getting some more confidence in the foundation of this team.
Well, and I think that's another, to add on to the point. Again, why, when we're talking about Kentucky basketball, it's great to get wins against Indiana and St. John's. If you ask me right now, I think Indiana and St. John's are at best Sweet 16 teams. At best. St. John's maybe Elite 8 in the right matchup. I could see it because it's Pitino. They got the guys to get there, but they've not looked like a top 5, top 10 team the way that many projected them to be. So at this point, like that is like, so you're saying, okay, even if we just go with those wins and say that's our ceiling, are the teams we've beaten so far, Sweet 16. That's not enough. Like, it's not, because we're talking about Kentucky and we're talking about what the expectations were. It's one SEC game. I'll also add that. Like, it's just game one. And Kentucky's got a chance. If you look at their upcoming schedule, which we're going to talk about Alabama in a second, Kentucky hosts Missouri on Wednesday, then they host Mississippi State next week. Kentucky should be 2-1.
Yep.
Honestly. Should be 2-1. Then they go to LSU the next week. Winnable game, I think. Go to Tennessee, that might be tough.
Yeah.
Home games against Texas and Ole Miss. Kentucky's probably still going to be in a pretty good spot by the end of January, I would think. Somewhere in there. But again, good enough is not good enough. Like, it's not. And I think that's where there are just so many things you can pick apart with this team when they play against teams like this. Not just when you're feeling the high of beating, again, some teams that are good, but not, I think Alabama, like I said, I still am of the belief that Alabama, at their best, at full strength, which may never happen this season, Max, in all honesty, it may never happen. But if it happens, I still think Alabama has the highest ceiling of any SEC team. So there's that.
Great point here by an unknown chatter.
Who's this guy?
Margin for error for the Cats is low. It's a great point because last year, hey, you go through a stretch or two of defensive lapses or something. There's Kobe Brea with 2 threes in a row with a guy right in his face. There's Jackson Robinson in transition, 5 seconds into the shot clock, making a 3, 5 feet behind the 3-point line. Boom, there's a bunch of points right away, and you're right back in the game. You're only down 4. You're 1 stop away from a 1-possession game. You don't feel that spurt ability. Last year in those big non-conference games that Kentucky had, the Zags game, the Duke game, they go down 10, but you feel like, oh my God, if they just put 2 or 3 stops together, they've got the offensive power here to get right back in this game. Never really felt like that in this one. It cuts it down. Ooh, it goes out to the 21 early there, Blake, and then cut it down to 10-9, and it still felt like, all right, Alabama's just 1 3 away from blowing this thing right back out, and it's not going to get back. I don't feel that same, like T said, same margin for error as last year. Just seems much lower. I got to play almost a perfect 40 minutes to beat teams like Alabama.
All right, a couple other things we're going to jump into. Is there been any update yet on Aiden Sherrell? Have we seen that yet?
Let's check. I'll check on the fly.
While you're checking on that, I'm going to grab a couple more things here. I know this was thrown in earlier. It says, when are we going to start having the talk no one on the channel wants to have out loud? Kentucky's a mid-SEC team at best. Where were they at? I think they were in our last power rankings. They were 7th. So, I don't know where they'll be this week. We'll see, depending on results. But Matt also asked us, make the argument that Kentucky makes the tournament. Someone else brought their resume up in the chat somewhere. If you remember, before the Indiana game, and even after the Indiana game, we're saying they still don't have an NCAA tournament resume. Like, I mean, if you were fielding the tournament at that point, we're like, they're borderline still. But like after St. John's, okay, they're in, right? Like, again, we're comparing resumes of 12 games for a lot of teams. So they had a pair of good wins. You're going to put them in. Bad losses don't really hurt you, except for the fact that they got blown out in a couple of them, one more than the other with the Zags. But look, Kentucky's resume right now, yeah, I mean, it's not anything that's going to put them in a, what were they, a 7 seed, I think, the last time we saw the bracketology? They were the 7 against St. Louis in St. Louis, the 7-10.
Yep.
Yeah. Like right now, like you're looking at a 8 seed type team. Yep. So, like I said, that's not what you're expecting when we're talking Final Four. Like 8 seed's not what you're thinking. Plenty of time to turn it around. Plenty of time. Long season. 1 game. But a little disappointing, I think, to lose the way they did. But I think also, to me, some of that is simply a contrast in styles where this is a bad matchup against a team that can shoot it, and you can't shoot it. And to be honest, there's a lot of SEC teams that can't shoot it either. So Kentucky may find their way into some rock fights this year, but I don't know. Anyways.
2 points on that. You made me think of something there when you said Alabama can shoot it just against teams that can't shoot it. But first, Torvik has Kentucky's chance to make the tournament at 80.9%. Got him as a 7 seed. A lot of that has to do with 7-0 in quad 4 and then 2-5 in quads 1 and 2. The one quad 2 win against Indiana, and then the lone quad 1 win on a neutral against St. John's. So that's what's, 7 wins in quad 4 looks, it's nice, but it doesn't do much for your tournament resume. Blake, speaking about Alabama, the contrast of how well they can shoot compared to how much lack of shooting there is in the rest of the league. That is one reason why in the offseason we were pretty high on Alabama. We had questions about the front court. Is Sherrell going to be able to take that big time step into being a 28-minute per game SEC center that can play against, the Florida front courts, the Tennessee front courts? You had your questions, but it was just this team's projection for how well they're going to shoot and how many volume shooters they're going to have compared to the rest of the league. They're going to have such a 3-point shooting advantage that they're going to win multiple conference games just purely by out-offensing, if you want to put it that, just outscoring the other team with waves of perimeter offense. You see it on display here tonight or today.
Yeah, I mean, it's silly to say that Alabama can't make a run in the NCAA tournament because of how they play. I know I've seen people say that, and I know I've seen people say that they don't have a front court. I think both are unequivocally false. Like, I think they have a front court, and I think they have proven before that they don't have to be a perfect defensive team to beat you. And they are the type of team, like you said, on any given night could beat anyone in the country if they get hot.
Yes.
And while some people may say, well, everybody else could do that too, I don't think so. Not the way Alabama can beat you. And I think that's going to be their separator in SEC play is if you had to ask me right now, how many teams do I think could hit 15 threes and be confident in that answer? There may be a couple more, like a couple that I would be anywhere confident in. But like Alabama to me is just it's the volume. Like it is the volume. Like that has to matter too. Like I know there are teams that shoot a better percentage, but it's the volume, and they just completely put you up against it when they're making shots the way they did. Have 10 at half. I mean 10 threes at the half. It's like my goodness. So
like 15 threes when LeBaron Philon, Latrell Wrightsell, and Jalil Bethea combined for 1 for 15 from 3.
So look at that, right?
You got 1 for 15 out of Bethea, Philon, and Wrightsell, and you still go 15 of 38 for 39.5% as a team and out rebound the other team. Jeez, this might be up there. I know Kentucky is not the best team right now, but just the way that this Alabama team got this done with the players they had available, given the in-game injuries as well, this is one of the most impressive wins of the season for me. I'm very impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, Alabama, they mentioned on commentary too, they were getting in the lane and being able to kick like a lot, and they were just getting the spacing, the opportunities to make defensive guys make a decision, and it put Kentucky in rough spots. And also Alabama just hit some in their face. Let's call it what it is too. Like they just said, we're just going to hit some threes, and good luck. All right, got a question for the chat here. Remember, this is the Super Chat portion as well. Get your Super Chats in. If you want to make sure we get to your comments, Super Chat streak, as of right now, broken. So somebody's got to leave a Super Chat to keep the streak going. 894 straight days, Max, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
I mean, it's an unofficial stat, but it's something like that. But I have a question for the chat too. Super Chats and a question. Will Mark Pope be the head coach of the Kentucky basketball Wildcats in 2026-27? There's your question for the chat. All right.
Woo.
We got to tell you about our friends, our new fine sponsors at Ann Collar. Go ahead, do the flash, Max. And Collar, great menswear. We're going to get you a full read coming on this. It's going to be a special read for our friends at Ann Collar. But for now, head on over there, SE16, SEC, wait a minute, SEC16, SEC16, I get that right, for 16% off over at our friends at Ann Collar, our new sponsor for the new year here at Southeastern 16. My goodness, these folks over there are going to have you looking great. You're going to look like Max Barr every day of the year if you go get a little Ann Collar action over there. So I threw the link in the chat, but I'm not sure why there's a question mark on the end of it. It's like Ron Burgundy reading the teleprompter. Head over to Ann Collar. Just take the question mark off the link, and it's all yours. So let me leave the link again so you can get that right. All right. And, of course, our friends over at the Yearly Company, Nashville Baines Fine Jewelry brand, built on tradition, designed for meaning. Each piece, handcrafted, solid 14-karat gold, natural gemstones, backed by a lifetime guarantee. Every Yearly Company bangle, custom size, knowing your size is the most important step before you order. Get that sizing kit. It's 100% off. It's free, complimentary, whatever word you want to use. Use our code SE16KIT, SE16KIT, over the Yearly Company. 100% off the sizing kit at checkout. And ROKFORM, ROKFORM.com, the world's strongest magnetic foam case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock, secure mounting. We're on a roll here to start SEC play. SEC25 for 25% off over at ROKFORM. All right. A lot of people are saying Mark Pope will be the coach next year.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. It would have to go really south. Really south. 0-1 is not going that far south yet. But it's not just 0-1, like we said. A lot of non-conference losses that were disappointing too. So we'll see.
Hey, you got Missouri, like you said. Schedule kind of sets up nice here for the next 4. I'm not saying at LSU and at Tennessee is going to be easy. Those are probably going to be very close spreads. Going to be underdog at Tennessee. But, hey, home against Mizzou, home against Mississippi State. 2 teams ranked outside the KenPom top 65. Missouri at 66. Mississippi State at 83. Come on. String together 2 wins. Maybe you grab a road win at LSU. Go into Knoxville on a 3-game win streak. Feeling a little bit better about yourself.
Yeah, so that's Kentucky's upcoming schedule. And, yeah, I think if you look at Alabama's upcoming schedule, well, depending on how this game plays out with Vanderbilt. Now, the Commodores in a bit of a tight one with South Carolina. I don't think we're surprised by that.
Some injuries there.
Yeah, no Duke Miles, no Frankie Collins for Vanderbilt. The Duke Miles one we were not expecting. That was a surprise. But no Duke Miles, but the Commodores currently up 10 towards the end of the first half. At South Carolina, we'll see how that one plays out. Georgia and Auburn, hell of a game in Athens right now. We're gonna watch that one. Yeah, this is. I told you, I thought this could be the game of the day in terms of like intrigue. It's lived up to the hype so far. Terrific game with the stars, really.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the stars and the pace really been the theme here of that one. Tennessee and Arkansas are going to tip off in about 30 minutes, a little less than 30 minutes now. So, but Alabama's upcoming schedule. They're at Vanderbilt on Wednesday. I don't know what the over-under is going to be set at, but it's going to be high over at FanDuel. I'll tell you that. It's going to be high at FanDuel in that game. No matter what happens with Vanderbilt and South Carolina, we're not even going to try to predict the spread. The Alabama-Vanderbilt game, you're getting close to 180, I think, on the over-under.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're getting close to 180.
Yeah.
So
you might be at 180. You might see 180 on the total.
Got to have Duke Miles back for that one if you're the Commodores. No matter what happens today in Columbia, got to have Duke Miles for that one. So
yeah, but I think I've broken my Twitter refresh button searching Aiden Sherrell on the search bar trying to find news.
I've been searching Mark Pope. You've been searching Aiden Sherrell. You don't want to search Mark Pope right now on Twitter. I'll tell you that. I was seeing if there's any quotes yet, but I'm not seeing anything right this second. So,
Blake, I got a question for you. We did our kind of mid-season, non-conference awards over the holiday break, and we kind of just wrote off any other freshman other than Darius Acuff to be freshman of the year. Do you think with the amount of just stat categories he ends up stuffing on that stat sheet every night, do you think there's a chance that Amari Allen gives Darius Acuff a run for his money if he keeps putting up close to double numbers, adding in a few assists, a few threes, playing close to 30 minutes a game? I mean, Acuff has been absolutely unbelievable, but just in terms of overall production, how much he's adding to the team, Amari Allen's going to be flying up my ranks.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely looking like a, first team All SEC guy. I think that's, yeah, because I mean,
first round NBA.
I mean, yeah, this guy is, like I said, he's doing it. The thing is, like, sometimes I think it's just so easy just to base everything off scoring. But
guys, not keeping native men off at all. No, not at all. Not at all.
No,
I was just saying, does Amari Allen now get put into that conversation with those guys?
Yeah, we're not throwing anybody off the list. We're asking if a guy gets put on the list. Yes, like Acuff and Amon are layups, like very easy choices if you're talking a first team all freshman. But yeah, like Allen, like I say, the production across the board, not many guys that are producing across the board like him that are not freshmen. Like he's a freshman and he's doing it. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's on that list for sure right now. So
hey, here's a question from UK Wildcats win. If Kentucky isn't competitive with Lowe and JQ in, what is the answer? Not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be maybe when we were talking X factors, more Cam Williams. You want
an answer? You want an answer on that? Keep talking because I'm going to listen to Mark Pope, who was asked a specific question about Cam Williams in the press conference. I see it right here. I'm going to see what he had to say. Keep talking.
Well, the reason that we were really high on him, he has that. Of course, he has the 8 of 10 3-pointer game against Bellarmine. But when you look at his O ratings over the past 5 games, 162, 152, 220, 122, 102. Super efficient, adding in great stuff for this offense. And we've been talking about, hey, why has Otega Owe not looked like Otega Owe? Well, he doesn't have Andrew Carr and Almanor knocking down 10 threes a game. Exaggerating. But he doesn't have those sharpshooters at the 4 space in the floor. You throw Cam in there and it opens things up. I don't know.
So I can't really hear what he's saying. It's kind of I see the tweet, but I can't really make out a lot of what he's saying. It's something about they're searching a little bit. I don't know what that meant, but that was kind of the only thing I heard. I guess that just means you're searching for answers here, which makes sense at this point. So
Auburn takes the lead. 5 minutes left.
All right, we're gonna hop off shortly, but we're not doing it until there's a super chat. That's the rule here. You don't want to be known as the Chad who breaks the streak. Someone's got to throw at least 50 cents into the super chats. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm sure there'll be more of a full quote on Cam Williams from Mark Pope, but I think that's an interesting one. And like I said, there's injury updates for Bama too. We got to get. We'll have those for tonight's show. So just so you guys know, the plan for today, we're going to do something after Arkansas, Tennessee. That gives us another window of games to look at. So we'll mention Auburn, Georgia. We'll give thoughts there. The primetime show, we're going to kind of swap that up a little bit this year. The primetime show is going to be very full day focus, hand out some awards, that kind of stuff. We'll obviously mention the games we haven't talked about, just some quick hitter thoughts from the day. So that's going to be the primetime stream. Just so you guys kind of note that. So we'll have that tonight after Florida, Missouri. That'll be a 9:30 Central-ish type start, something like that. So there you go. Awards coming tonight for the first Saturday of SEC play. The streak continues.
There it is. Bang.
Bang. The streak continues here at Southeastern 16. 895 straight days now. Unofficial stat.
West Nash Door. Yeah. Appreciate it.
From your boys.
Thank you.
At Southeastern 16. All right. Look at this.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Shave sticks. Oh, no. Oh, no. $2 super chat.
Breaking out the rhymes.
Oh, no. I have to bring them on to wrap this live on air. Another $2 super chat. Bang! From Pooh Bear. Oh, my. A lot of that from Alabama today. By the way, Kentucky fans, if you're looking for something to really just immerse yourself into and you're like, it's not my team right now, guess what? Max Barr and I have got something for you. In case you've missed it, we're 2 episodes in to our Blake and Max coach an SEC basketball team series. Max, should we just give these people a little bit of a preview of what they could find? I'm sure we can pull the tweet up if you guys want to know what we've been doing. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
We did a poll in the summer. We said, you guys get to vote. Who should we coach in College Hoops 2K8? Max and I coaching the team. We're recruiting. We're sending some, money under the table. We're doing all kinds of shady stuff.
Shady? Yep.
But there you have it. Max is going to give you a little, we're going to give him a little link here. We're going to give you a little highlights of what you can see.
Do you want me to pull it up?
Here, I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. We just need to do that before we
Good
hop
stuff.
off.
It was game 1. If you guys missed the episode, game 1 of the season against a top 25 opponent in the Aggies.
Yeah. All right. We're going to give you a 1-minute preview here, okay? And if you want to know how you join in on this, you become a member. And I'm going to throw the link in real quick. As always, these live streams, you get what you get here, folks. We're not always the most smooth on the live streams, but look how many MVP. My goodness, you guys were signing up for the MVP level yesterday. A lot of you must have wanted the predictions live. So, become a member. You got to be an MVP or a legend. But here you go. Here's kind of a quick preview of what you'll get on the next episode. Blake and Max coach an SEC basketball team. Let's see if I can get this going here.
Had a blast. Had an absolute blast. One of the most fun I've had doing a members only video.
Look how weird this looks. You and I just like sitting here, and we're like, you can see us like multiple times. Kind of a weird thing.
Watching a stream of a screen.
I don't know. I used to set a screen every play down. I don't know why we're not setting.
We're not a screening offense. We're not a screening offense.
Oh, that's wide open. That's bang.
Oh, who takes it down inside. With a great offensive rebound there.
Oh, that's money.
So
outside. Bang. But we are probably the best team in the country 8 minutes into the season.
Skips it to the free throw line.
Oh, look at the defense. Cleveland is just, oh my goodness. Oh, and they won. He got fouled. Oh. I would love to know how to shoot a free throw here. Would love to know it, but I have no clue. Oh, can Hackstack shoot a 3? I'm going to try it. Oh, look, I got a pump fake. Got him with a pump fake. Poor finish. Poor finish.
They still got an 8-point lead. Leads him in.
Is that an and one?
And he got the bump too.
Okay. Oh, my gosh. This is the greatest thing ever. All right. There you have it. If you want to become a member, more Blake and Max coach SEC basketball. Yeah, we look like a real squad out there, Chris. I agree. All right. More games to be played today. Thank you for the super chat streak continuing. About to tip off at Bud Walton between Arkansas and Tennessee. We got a great finish coming up between Georgia and Auburn.
What a day.
We picked whoever wins. Let's not forget that. All right. We're back after Arkansas, Tennessee. Come on back in. Talk the other games of the day. We appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for your support of Southeastern 16. Sign up for that membership. Become an MVP or legend. Have some fun with us on all our bonus content. Football stuff as well. And then there was one in the SEC in the playoff. So, all right. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you here in a bit here at Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.